Hello, folks, and welcome to this special Let's Talk. And as many of you may not know, Adepticon happened a couple of nights ago. Now, this is quite big for several reasons. One, we did get a lot of reveals, mainly for 40k and Kill Team and all that. But to be honest, this what we're looking at here, I believe, stole the show. The old Warhammer, the Grand Cathay. That's right, the very faction that has been mentioned in lore for well over 30 plus years, got its big break in Warhammer 3. Now they finally got their models. I mean, this is huge, guys. Now, I know Old World had two others, like with the Beastmen and the Wood Elves, but let's be honest, nobody really, if you're a fan of those two, more power to you. But I feel this was the big reveal. This, the Grand Cathay reveal. Now, let's be honest, guys. We have waited. If you're an old school Warhammer fan like I am, when I was around during the 90s, we've always heard about this faction. We've heard about the Grand Cathay, Nepong, and Ind. Now, finally, we get to see it. And like I said, the other, like 40k had a lot of stuff about, the Space Wolves, the World Eaters, the whole thing with the Grey Knights and Armageddon Crusade thing with demons. It was just, it's all well and good, but this to me is like the big thing about it. And Grand Cathay also has implications for not only Old World, but also for two other games. One is Blood Bowl, and another one I'll talk about in a minute, because I've heard an interesting rumor that was a while ago, and I wasn't taking much stock in it, but recently I think there might be more to it. But let's get to the business at hand, shall we? So let's start with, have a look at these guys. We've got the Jade Warriors, which is pretty good actually, because they do look good. I mean, they look like proper Cathay, and they don't look like Imperials. They look more like a proper, like, different force. Then you got the Jade Lancers, which I'm assuming they're like, we're looking like horses, because some of them look like horses, some like, I don't think look like horses, I mean like miniature like lions or something, but they do look nice. I do like the pattern work they've done on the shields. I mean, they look cool. I mean, the color looks funky. Then we got the Cathay Grand Cannon. I mean, that thing looks absolutely brilliant. And we also got the Rocketeer, which is good. I mean, we got Ogre like literally just manning the thing, and you got all these people, setting it up. And then I believe we have the pièce de résistance, the actual, like, the leader on a dragon. I mean, come on. Wouldn't you want to have a dragon as your leader? But I know they haven't put in the big dragons, like, like the Jade Dragon and all that yet. But I believe they'll be coming in the future. And also we've got the Gate Masters of the Celestial Cities. I mean, they look absolutely beautiful. I mean, the horse thing. It's just, I've always said this about Games Workshop. They always make brilliant models. I mean, the rules sometimes are questionable at best, but they do make brilliant models. And then we have the Sky Lanterns. I mean, that looks funky. I would love to see the rules for these faction. And then we have the big guy, the Cathayan Sentinel. Now, keep in mind, guys, all this was done in Warhammer 3. I think what they did with Warhammer 3 was a test bed to see how they would, be received. And they received very well. And now we're getting them in model form. We're going to be seeing a lot of this, army in the Old World tabletop. Now, I know some of you may be asking this one simple question. Will people buy it? Oh, hell yeah. These are one of the few armies any old school Warhammer person will want this, because they've heard this faction for years, for 30 plus years. Now they're finally here. But it begs the question. Will Nepong and Ind finally make their appearances? Now, as far as Nepong goes, I do believe they will make their appearance. It's only a matter of time. With Warhammer 3, because we are aware that Warhammer 3 is not finished. They said there's more to come, and I believe Nepong and Ind will finally make their appearances. And also Araby might make their appearance as well, along with Albion. Now, whether or not they'll do that remains to be seen, but I do believe they will, because with Grand Cathay being such a success in Warhammer 3, they finally got their models. But what interested me was, now, a friend of mine, right, went to a Q&A session for workshop a year ago, and he asked this question. Was going to be a Cathay set? Now, they never denied it, but they said that was down the road. Way down the road, they said probably 4 or 5 years down the road, if they ever decide to do it. But a year later? Me thinks that there's something going on. And what do I think of that? I think that they've realized that these guys are so popular in Warhammer 3, they probably had no choice but to push them forward to be the big reveal. Because as you can see here, guys, we even got the book here, which looks great. And, I forgot about you guys. Mei Young's in this. Mei Ying, the Storm Dragon's in this, so we now got her. So that was my mistake. I didn't go all the way down. But yeah, we have one of the big dragons, which that looks freaking awesome. Do we have the other one? No, we don't. So I'm assuming you can use her ability, like, can transform, which is kind of cool. That was my fault, guys. I should have went all the way. But this is brilliant. This is pretty much, I would say, like, if you're a 40k fan and you don't care about this, you would have been happy with all the 40k stuff. Power to you. But to me, looking at it as a whole for Adepticon, this was pretty much the pièce de résistance. The whole, like, Kabuto Cafe. And I'm going to guarantee you there will be a lot of people on the tabletop playing Cafe. I mean, they'll get the rulebook for sure. And also, they'll probably get this guy and, the Storm Dragon. Because, let's be honest, they are brilliant centerpiece models. You can't go wrong with them. I mean, you can't. But this begs the question. Now, as I stated, these guys came out earlier than people predicted. Some people predicted it would have been 4 or 5 years after the first like rounds with Old World. But they didn't. They've come out early. Now, here's the question. Where's Kislev? Now, for those who aren't aware, Kislev was the first faction to be announced that they were going to work on. And yet, we've not seen the Kislevites. We've seen Bretonia, Tomb Kings. We've seen the humans, the Wood Elves, the normal elves, Chaos, the Orcs, the Dwarfs. We've got PDFs for the Skaven, the Chaos Dwarfs, and all them. Now, let me be clear about those PDFs. If Blood Bowl's taught us anything, don't expect them to be PDFs for long. I think they will be getting their own books, but later date. I would say probably in a second wave, they might go, right, we're going to bring out like a Skaven / Chaos Dwarf book. Books of the other races eventually. I know some might say, they probably won't do it. I think they will. They will in time. But yeah, that's another thing. That's the thing I'm worried about. And that is Kislev. Where is Kislev? Are they going to be even made eventually? Or are they holding them back when they do the next cycle of editions? Now, it wouldn't be the first time that's happened, but I doubt it because Kislev was supposed to be the big talking point. It was supposed to be the big army that was supposed to be the first, brand new army wave. But if we look at it more closely, Cathay's the first. Cathay is legitimately the first big army, brand new army that's come out. And I gotta admit, I mean, it's gonna contain 50 plastic miniatures with this is the box set basically. I mean, I do like it, but I want to see their rules because I'll be honest, guys. If it's anything like what we've seen so far in this series, there will be some questionable rules. I mean, they don't have much in the way of firepower, but I mean, you've got the cannons, the Rocketeers, but I don't see any archers, which is a kind of bit of a worry for me because you gotta do something. I mean, you got this thing, which we all know that's gonna be its own thing, but how big is this model gonna be? And this guy, how big is he gonna be? And then we have the dragon. I mean, that's going to be a big model. I don't care what anyone says. That's going to be a massive model. But this also brings up another question. When I said earlier, this will have implications for a couple of games. I wasn't kidding. First off is Blood Bowl. Now, as you well know, Blood Bowl is a separate universe. However, it is set in the old world. So does this mean that we could get a Cathay team in the future? Now, I have stated in the past that there are new teams on the way. Rumor mill going around that there's going to be a Sanesh team on the way. But now that Cathay has joined in the old world, does that mean they're coming? Hard to say, isn't it? We'll have to wait for a little while to see if that will happen. Because it'll be interesting to see how they would do Cathay. How would they do it? But this is not the only game they might make an appearance. Now, I want to cover something I was meant to cover a while ago, but I took no stock in it for a little while until recently. Now, this is from Spiky Bits. Now, Spiky Bits is a website, but it does have at times, made some, shall we say, some claims and have been a bit on the nose. So, what's this all about? Well, as you can see, it's about Mordhime. Now, the rumor mills going around is Mordhime making a return? Now, let's be clear. These are rumors. They are with a grain of salt, so please keep in mind this is a rumor. But there might be some credence. Allow me to explain. First off, they've claimed that Mordheim may have been name dropped recently. And there has been. Now, if we go along here, now down here, we all know the video about Undead Warbands and all that. But this is the photo that they released 2 weeks ago. Do you notice something about these patterns here? You got Warhammer Community, Sigma, 40k, Old 40k, Warhammer TV, Forge World, Titanicus, Nightvolt, Underworlds, the old Warhammer logo, Horus Heresy. We also got Warcry, Old World, Blackstone, Quest, White Dwarf, Kill Team, Realm of Chaos, Golden Demon, Necromunda, Bubble. It's these two at the bottom, Mordheim and Gothic. Now, you may be wondering, wait, that's just a picture. Do not forget, we were not expecting Cathay as we just did. But now, we've now got evidence that this could be more going on than we think. Now, if we go past this lot, because we don't really care about Warcry, have been reviving long-lost games, which they have recently. They have been doing that. Some say it might be a throwaway. I don't think so. You wouldn't put Mordheim on that. Or Gothic. Now, to start with Gothic, we have heard rumors about Gothic for a long time. Some say it might be one of the Christmas releases. Others might believe it might be a release for next year, when Workshop hasn't got anything to work with. Now, let us be clear. Some of you may be asking, well, what about Horus Heresy? Because it was not Adepticon. No, because I've said before, Horus Heresy, in my view, is getting a new edition in July. So that's why we didn't see them. I think they're keeping that close to their chest. Now, as you all know, Mordheim City of the Damned is still going. Even on my channel, it's one of my top videos next to Blood Bowl. And it is one, franchise that a lot of people love. Now, the old Mordheim had PDF rules for many factions, but it never got a proper, book. It was a bit messed up and all over the place. So, here's the question. With Cathay now involved, and that picture, because this did come from GW's website, the question must be asked is Mordheim going to make a comeback? And if so, what does this mean for the factions in the old world? Well, it could mean a lot. Now, as you will know, the Mordheim City of the Damned game only had 6 races. Sister of Sigmar, the Mercenaries, the Undead, Chaos, Skaven, and the Witch Hunters. Now, there were other races, but they were in like certain books or PDFs. So to say that Mordheim could make a return and the City of the Damned could make a return as well. Now, I've said many times in my Mordheim videos, I would love to see a Mordheim City of the Damned 2 with all the races to make a bigger campaign. Now, could that happen? It's a possibility. Remember, they have been reviving old games. Look no further than Blood Bowl. As you well know, Blood Bowl, even though it was still going, didn't really get the love and attention it has been getting as of late. So why has that happened? Video games. That's right. Think about it. Blood Bowl 2 brought Blood Bowl back to life. Thus, we had Blood Bowl 2020 with all new teams, new rules, and new tricks. Now, I'll be honest, Blood Bowl 3 has not lived up to the tabletop's, credentials at times, but it's thanks to video games that has helped these old franchises come back to life. Now, as I said before, Mordheim City of the Damned is still a beloved game where a lot of people still watch and play it. Now, Battlefield Gothic is a different case. Battlefield Gothic can return. Its game did well. Both its games done well. But the question must be asked about Gothic. Would it sell well? That's the thing you got to look at. Whereas Mordheim can, because let's be honest, Mordheim is not that hard to do. You just got to pick up a box of like a faction and just pick up a box and just do a little kit bashing and there you go. You've got your gang. Now, what about Gothic? Could Gothic return? It's hard to say. But we have to wait and see how all of this progresses. Because you got to remember, guys, we are in the year where certain things are going on. In the case of 40k, we're in the year of Slanesh, where Slanesh is getting all its stuff sorted, along with, the other factions getting their codexes. While in the case of the Heresy, we're on the cusp of a new edition, so they got that work going on. In the case of Age of Sigmar, they've just had their big thing, I think, a few months ago. So now they're doing their tomes throughout the whole process. Underworld has been quiet, but to be honest, they're not going to be doing much anyway. Now, like I said, this was actually, it's right here. It says back in 2019, this is when this whole thing showed up. Now, like I said, most of these have happened. But those two. So I do believe they will make their appearances. It's just a question of when. Now, a question we must also ask is, what does it mean for, like specialist games like Warcry? Would Warcry still exist? Yes. I think Warcry and Mordheim are going to be their own separate entities. Like, Mordheim will be the Warcry variant of the old world. Warcry is for the Sigma world. Because, I mean, if you look at it also at Horus Heresy, we also have Zone Mortalis, which is its own separate entity. To a degree, like, you can still play Zone Mortalis in a actual 30k setting, but it's not like a big battle. It's a small, like, pitch battle. But if you notice, most of these have either pretty much they're not doing much at the moment, or they're just like not much going on. What do you think? Are you excited about Cathay, finally getting their models? Are you intrigued that Mordheim and Gothic could be the next two big returns? And if you are, what gang would you pick and what fleet would you take? Anyhow, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya!